The inner critic, why it's loud and how to quiet it. Let's talk about the inner critic. That voice in your head that tells you you're not doing enough, that you're falling short, that other people are doing better than you, faster than you, more easily than you. We all have that voice. But what many people don't realize is, the inner critic isn't just there to hurt you. It's trying to protect you, in a distorted, outdated way. So today, we're going to explore where that voice comes from, why it gets so loud sometimes, and 3 gentle ways you can start to shift your relationship with it. Because you don't need to fight your inner critic, you need to understand it. Where the inner critic comes from. The inner critic usually develops in early life. It can be shaped by childhood experiences, past trauma, or even things we learned just by watching the people around us. If you grew up around high expectations, perfectionism, or inconsistency, you might have learned to stay safe by being overly self-aware. The inner critic becomes a survival tool. If I criticize myself first, maybe no one else will. Or maybe you heard criticism so often that your brain began to adopt it as truth. I guess I really am too much. Or not enough. That voice that was once meant to protect you from pain now causes it. And when we're under stress, that voice gets louder. Why? Because the brain goes into protection mode. The inner critic believes it's doing its job. But here's the thing, what protected you back then might be holding you back now. Why it gets so loud. The inner critic thrives on fear. Fear of being judged. Fear of failure. Fear of not being good enough. It speaks up when you're doing something new, something vulnerable, or something that matters to you. It says things like, you'll embarrass yourself. Who do you think you are? Why even try? But these aren't truths. They're fear-based thoughts dressed up as logic. Your inner critic is trying to keep you small because it believes small is safe. But growth doesn't happen in safety, it happens in courage. So instead of shutting the voice down or believing everything it says, what if you learn to respond with kindness? 3 ways to reframe critical thoughts. Name the voice. Give your inner critic a name that makes it less intimidating. Some people call it the nag, or old programming. This creates space between you and the voice. You're not the voice, you're the awareness behind it. Talk back with curiosity, not judgment. Instead of I'm being so hard on myself again, try that's interesting, I wonder why this part of me feels afraid right now? You're not feeding the criticism. You're softening it. And the moment you stop battling it, it starts to lose its grip. Replace harsh words with truthful kindness. Take a critical thought like I always mess things up and shift it to I made a mistake, but I'm still learning. I can grow from this. Self-kindness isn't lying to yourself. It's telling the whole truth, not just the painful part. Takeaway, gentleness over judgment. The goal isn't to silence the inner critic forever, it's to stop letting it run the show. When you meet that voice with gentleness, not judgment, you remind yourself, I don't have to be perfect to be worthy. I'm allowed to try, to fail, to rest, and to still belong. Inner kindness calms the nervous system. It builds resilience. It helps you show up in your life without the constant fear of not being enough. And every time you practice that inner compassion, you're not just healing your anxiety. You're rewriting the way you treat yourself, moment by moment. Final words. The next time that inner critic speaks up, pause. Don't shut it down. Don't believe it blindly. Just listen. Then respond like you would to someone you love. You're not too much. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're growing. You're human. And that's more than enough.